turbine. Turbine is a device which is supposed to generate the work output from the supplied steam. It has to expand the steam in the turbine in the number of stages, and from that expansion, it has to generate the work output. That is the objective of a turbine. And then after, next component is condenser. A condenser is a device which is used to convert the steam into water in order to avoid back pressure of a turbine. That is a objective of a condenser. These are the components of steam power cycle and their individual objects and their way of working. And after that, in this class, today's class, I would like to discuss the thermodynamical cycle of a steam power cycle. Already in the previous class, we have seen what is called steam power cycle and what is the use of steam power cycle and the application of steam power cycle, and also we have seen what are the basic components of the steam power cycle and also their individual workings and their objects. And here in this class, I'm going to explain the thermodynamical cycle of steam power cycle. And basically the steam power cycle, people, you're getting a voice? Hello guys.
Yes, sir.
Getting, sir.
Yes, sir.
Getting, sir.
Okay, right.
Yes, sir. Getting.
Okay, then listen to me. So in this class, I'm going to explain the thermodynamical cycle of Rankine cycle, thermodynamical cycle of steam power cycle. And already we know that we have gone through the many thermal engineering subjects like thermodynamics we have seen, and also we have seen thermal engineering one in the last semester. For every device, there is some theoretical thermodynamical cycle. For example, if you see the IC engine, what is the thermodynamical cycle for the IC engine? Either it may be Otto cycle, either it may be diesel cycle, either it may be dual cycle. These are the thermodynamical theoretical cycles for the IC engines. And also, if we go for the refrigerator, what are the refrigerator thermodynamical cycles? Do you have any idea about theoretical cycles of refrigeration? Hello? Anybody have idea of theoretical cycles of refrigeration? Hello? 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 Anybody can answer? What are the theoretical cycles of refrigeration? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Tell me at least one cycle of the refrigeration. Already you have refrigeration in 5th unit of thermodynamics. In the last semester, you have in 5th unit refrigeration. You know?
Yes.
Tell me what is a.
Yes, sir. Auto cycle and diesel cycle.
That is the IC engines. That is for IC engines. Auto cycle.
Sir,
Other rank.
Brayton cycle.
That's what air cycle. That means Brayton cycle. Brayton cycle or VCR, vapor compression refrigeration cycles are the theoretical cycles. Theoretical bell column Brayton and also reversed Carnot and also VCR, vapor compression refrigeration system. These are the theoretical cycles for the refrigeration. Likewise, for example, if you go for the gas turbines also there in your first thermal engineering one. What are the theoretical cycles for the gas turbine? That is bell column. That is Brayton or Joule cycle. Actually, it is Brayton or Joule cycle. So, what is my point here? My point is that for any thermal engineering devices, there should be one theoretical cycle. Without a theoretical cycle, we can't constitute a thermal devices. Actually, we design the devices and we constitute the devices on the basis of or on the principle of theoretical cycles. By theoretical cycles only, we designed IC engines. By theoretical cycles only, we designed refrigerators. By theoretical cycles only, we designed aeroplanes. We designed air conditions. All the things what we are using in the thermal engineering sites, we have designed on the basis of our principle of theoretical cycles. Likewise, when you are running the steam power plant, for the steam power plant also, there should be one theoretical cycle. How you constituted a steam power plant and you are not on your imagination. Natanyan hypothesis. How it is designed? It is designed on well constituted and well theoremed thermodynamical theoretical cycles. So the thermodynamical theoretical cycle for a steam power plant is Rankine cycle. It is what? It is a it is Rankine cycle. Already in the diagram we have the heading like Rankine cycle. This Rankine cycle is a theoretical thermodynamical cycle for the power plant. For the power plant, Rankine cycle for power plant. Rankine cycle is a theoretical thermodynamical cycle. See here, this is the Rankine cycle TS diagram. Here we are getting TS diagram, Rankine cycle TS diagram. Here, see how it is showing here: 1 2 2, 1 2 2, and 2 2 1, 2 2 3, and 3 to 4, and 4 to 1. So these are all process of Rankine cycle, and Rankine cycle is a theoretical cycle for the steam power plant or steam power cycle. Actually, what is happening in the Rankine cycle here? For example, if you observe the 1 2 2, if you observe the 1 2 2, actually this 1 2 2 is constant volume heat addition. It is what? Constant volume heat addition. That is 1 to 2. Why we are calling it as a constant volume heat addition means here in the by keeping volume constant only, we are adding the heat. That means we are heating the water up to saturated temperature. Up to saturation temperature, water will not increase its volume. When it will increase its volume, when it is converting into steam, what happens? When it is converting into steam, it will expand its volume, so that 1 to 2 is this area. In this 1 to 2, water is being water only. Water is existing in the water liquid form only. And what is happening in this 1 to 2? We are saying that constant volume heat addition. We are saying that constant volume heat addition. In a constant volume heat addition, for example, from the pump, here we are pumping. In the diagram, you can see the components here. See, this is boiler, turbine, and condenser. Pump here. What pump will do? Pump will pump the water which is condensed from the steam into the boiler. So in the condenser, what happens? Steam will convert into water here. Steam will convert into water here. I'm writing here. Steam is converting into water here. But after the condensation, water is not saturated level. Water is not saturated. Water is not saturated after the condensation. So that we have to convert that unsaturated water into saturated water. So that particular process is happening in 1 to 2. In 1 to 2, what we are doing? We are heating water only. We are not converting water into steam. In the 1 to 2, what we are doing? We are just heating the water. We are just heating in the 1 to 2. We are just heating the unsaturated water into saturated water. That is 1 to 2. So that is the reason the volume of the water will not change when you heat it. Already we have seen in the steam formation, when volume is changing, when phase is changing, by which heat phase changes, by which heat temperature changes. By giving the sensible heat, only temperature will change. By giving the latent heat, phase will change. So here in the 1 to 2, it is called as a constant volume heat addition. In the constant volume heat addition, we are only heating the water from unsaturated level to saturated level. And after the point 3, we are saturating the saturated water will become a steam here in this region from 2 to 3, we are converting water into steam here. So this is called 2 to 3 called it is isothermal expansion. It is called isothermal expansion. What is first one, guys? Hello? What is first process? Process 1 to 2. What is process 1 to 2? Hello?
Constant volume heat addition, sir.
In that, what you are doing, you just heating the water, that's all. So that is the reason volume is constant. Okay, now what is process 2 to 3?
Expansion.
What is process 2 to 3? Process 2 to 3 is a converting water into steam. Converting
Steam.
water into steam, and that is nothing but what? Isothermal expansion.
Isentropic. Oh,
Isothermal expansion. Why we are
Yes,
calling
sir.
it as isothermal expansion? When you converting steam into water, when you converting saturated water into saturated steam, temperature will not change. Temperature will not change. When you're taking the phase conversion from saturated level to saturated steam, temperature will not change. When temperature is not changed, the process called what? Isothermal process or constant temperature process. What you are calling it as? Isothermal process or constant temperature process. So that 2 to 3 process is conversion of saturated water into saturated steam, and it is said to be technically isothermal expansion. Why you are calling expansion? Why calling expansion? The water volume will increases. Water volume will increases. So that is the reason we are calling it as a expansion. So that is the reason we are calling it as a expansion. Next, process 3 to 4. Next process 3 to 4. Next process 3 to 4. In the process 3 to 4, this exactly indicates turbine work here. This exactly indicates the turbine work. So in the process 3 to 4, the saturated steam or dry saturated steam will expand in the turbine in isentropic manner. Process 3 to 4 is isentropic expansion. Steam will expand in isentropic manner. Process 3 to 4 is expansion of steam in the turbine to generate work output. The manner of expansion is isentropic expansion. Next process 4 to 1. Next process 4 to 1. Now this process 4 to 1 exactly indicating condenser work. This process 4 to 1 indicating condenser work. In the condenser, what is happening? Steam is converting into water. That means volume is reducing. Steam is high volume, water is low volume. So when you're converting steam into water, that is called compression. That is called what? Compression. That is called compression. Here the compression also isothermal process. Here the compression also isothermal process. So that we are calling it as isothermal compression. Isothermal compression. Okay, na? Okay, na guys. How many processes we have in the Rankine cycle? Process 1 to 2, it is constant volume heat addition. In this process, we will make unsaturated water into saturated water by giving sensible heat. Next, process 2 to 3, it is isothermal expansion, and it is nothing but conversion of saturated water into dry saturated steam. Next, process 3 to 4, it is nothing but expanding steam in the turbine, and doing the work done in the turbine. This is technically called isentropic expansion. Next, next process 4 to 1. Next process 4 to 1 is isothermal compression. It is nothing but conversion of steam into water, and it indicates a condenser. So here this is 2 to 3, this is 3 to 4, this is 4 to 1, this is 1 to 2. In the 1 to 2, pumping of water and heating water will be done in 1 to 2. This is about the Rankine cycle. Rankine cycle consists 4 reversible processes. One is constant volume heat addition, and isothermal expansion, isentropic expansion, isothermal compression. Okay, guys, these are the process of Rankine cycle. And in the next blank slide, what I will do, I will draw the cycle diagram. And as well as I'll draw the cycle diagram, as well as I will explain the things here more clearly. Listen to me. Okay, here I'll explain. I'll draw the cycle and I'll explain here. So listen to me, guys. This is our customized diagrams. Okay, up to now we have took the diagrams from the Google or like that. So here I will draw the customized diagrams. You see, I will draw the customized diagrams. You just listen to me. Actually, this is the way of layout. First is bilateral, Next is we having the turbine. Next we are having the turbine, and then after we are having the condenser. This is the condenser. This is the condenser, and in between the boiler and the condenser, we are having the one pump here, and here it is having the hot well. Hot well is just nothing but a storing component of water, which is coming from the condenser. Okay, now this is the way. First one is boiler, then turbine, then condenser, then hot well. This is called hot well. This is boiler. This is a boiler, and this is a turbine, and this is condenser. This is condenser, and this is hot well. Hot well. Hot well means it is a component which stores the condensed water from the condenser, and from there pump will pump the water. From the hot well, pump will pump the water into boiler. In meanwhile, unsaturated water will become hot. So this will be the one. This will be the point one in the diagram. This will be the point one in the diagram, and this will be the point two in the diagram. This will be the point two in the diagram, and this will be the point three in the diagram, and this area is point four in the diagram. So here, you just listen to me. You getting the diagram clearly? Hello, guys. Guys, hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
diagram clear now. Okay. Then
Okay, sir.
I will draw the TS diagram according to these numbers. According to these numbers, I will draw the TS diagram here. You just listen to me here. You will just see this is the TS diagram. This is temperature on y-axis, entropy on x-axis, and the diagram will be like this. Yes, exactly, it will be like this. This will be the point one of boiler. This will be point one of boiler. This is point two of turbine. This is point three. This is point three condenser, and this is point four here. So now you listen to me. This 421 is constant volume heat addition, and 122 is isothermal expansion. Isothermal expansion. This is isentropic expansion. This is isentropic expansion. This is isentropic expansion. This is again, this is what? Constant, sorry, we can say it as water. We can say it as, we can say it as, we can say it as isothermal compression. Actually, it is said to be isothermal compression. This one is said to be 3 to 4 is said to be isothermal compression. Okay, now you just listen to me. This is the exact way we are using, and for the for your preparation purpose and exam purpose also, we just used to get a habit of drawing the layouts in this manner, and you start pointing with 1 here, 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and that will be clear. If you start like this, it will be clear to you. Now you tell me, this is the 4 to 1 process. Now this is the 4 to 1 process. Here what you are doing? You are pumping. Here we pumping the water into boiler, and meanwhile what you are doing? We are heating the unsaturated water into saturated water with the constant heat addition, constant volume heat addition. Next in the 1 to 2, what is happening? 1 to 2, what is happening? 1 to 2, it is doing like what? At 1 we are giving at 1 we are what we are giving? We are giving the dry saturated steam into turbine. 2 to 3 expansion is happening, and 4 to 1 again isothermal compression is happening. So these are the things happening in the Rankine cycle. Now you would like to indicate the heat. What is heat here it is having? Tell me at point 1. Can you give the formula of heat here at point 1? Hello guys. What is heat at point 1? Hello? Any idea? Hello guys. What is heat at point 1? The point 1 heat will be
Constant
H1. H1.
Constant heat temperature.
Point 1 heat will be what? H1. How we are indicating point 1 heat here? After the boiler. After the boiler, the heat of the steam will be H1. And after the boiler, always steam will be how? It will be what? It will be dry saturated, so that the formula will be HF1 plus HFG1. This is a formula of H1. Next, after the turbine, H2. After the turbine, H2. What is H2? H2 always a wet steam. H2 always a wet steam. Wet steam formula is what?
H2 is XHFG.
HF2 plus X
Plus X G2.
G2. This is turbine. After the turbine. This is before the turbine. And we can consider this as also Hg. Why? Because it's dry. We can consider as enthalpy of gas. H1 is equal to HF1 plus HFG1 is equal to nothing but Hg. That means directly from the steam table you can take the Hg value before the turbine. But after the turbine you can't take it. Why? Because after the turbine this is what? Wet steam. After the expansion steam becomes wet. So here the formula will be what? H2 is equal to HF2 plus X2 into HFG2. And now you tell me what is after H3? What is H3 value?
HF3.
H3 value.
HF3.
HF3.
3.
3. It's anything else?
No, sir.
Why? Because we are removing the latent heat in the
Steam.
condenser.
Latent heat in the
What you are doing in order to convert the steam into water, we are removing the latent heat so that there is no latent heat after the condenser. After the condenser, H3 is equal to HF. And after the pump, before the boiler, what is the heat? Before the boiler, what is the heat? That is nothing but H4 is equal to HF4. Here also we are not adding any latent heat. Here only in the constant volume heat addition also. What you are doing sometimes, you just adding the sensible heat only, so that H4 is equal to HF4. These are the heat formulas. And we having some more things here. See, for example, if it is said to be from 1 to 2, if you want to take some conditions from 1 to 2, what are the conditions we can take? From 1 to 2, we can take the condition temperature constant. T1 is equal to T2. Why? Because the heat addition process with 1 to 2 is what? That is isothermal expansion. So temperature will be constant. And here, most of the times it will be P1 is equal to P2. The expansion means the conversion of water into steam is also constant pressure process. It is also constant temperature process, and it is also constant pressure process. So that we can take the condition P1 is equal to T1, P1 is equal to P2 for 1 to 2. If you come to 2 to 3, 2 to 3 is what? It is isentropic expansion. So it is nothing but H2 is equal to S. Is right or not? Hello guys. What is 2 to 3? What is happening in turbine? 2 to 3. 2 to 3 is isentropic expansion. What is the meaning of isentropic expansion? Entropy will be constant. So that what is the condition? What is the condition we can take here? We can take S2 is equal to S3. S2 is equal to S3. And similar way, for example, if you go for 3 to 4, what is 3 to 4? 3 to 4 is isothermal compression. We are converting steam into water. So what are the conditions again? Isothermal means temperature. Isothermal means temperature constant. What is temperature here? T3 is equal to T4. T4 is equal to T4. And same time and same way we can take T3 is equal to T4 also. Why? Because we are not going to change pressure and temperature conversion process. Either it may be water to steam or either it may be steam to water. We are not going to touch temperature and pressures. So if any in any case you get the conversion, there you can blindly take temperature as constant, pressure as constant, until if the fellow says or examiner says or problem giver says, unless until it specifically mentions the pressure bends to from this pair to this pair. So unless until there is no certain nodes, you can directly consider it as constant temperature and a constant pressure for the conversion. These are the conditions which are going to help in the problem solving. These are the conditions we should know when it is said to be Rankine cycle. When you are going through the Rankine cycle, you are studying a Rankine cycle. About the Rankine cycle, these are the conditions. These are the conditions very much helpful in solving the problems. Okay, now. And in the next class, we are going to derive the expression for efficiency and work done of the Rankine cycle. In this class, what we have seen? We have seen Rankine cycle process and what is happening in the Rankine cycle, and we have seen TS diagram of the Rankine cycle, and also we have seen the conditions of the Rankine cycle in this class. Okay, now. Now in the next class, we are going to see, we are going to derive the expression for the Rankine cycle. Expression for the Rankine cycle. Okay. Expression for the Rankine cycle. And please, guys, I just thinking you are just getting the notes. You're getting the notes. Okay, na? I'll send the links, please, guys. Just you get the notes from the links. Okay, na? Thank you for listening. I will catch you in tomorrow class. And one most probably tomorrow I will take the Sweta madam class. Most probably. Okay, na?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Right. Bye.
Sir, links పంపండి సార్ లాస్ట్ క్లాసెస్ కూడా.
పంపిస్తా